Hello YouTube. Alright, back here at my milling machine now. And it's going to be part 2 situated here. Part 2 of converting my gasoline excavator to hopefully battery powered, or with like a scooter motor. It doesn't seem like it's really hard to turn, and I am able to turn it with a drill no problem. So I'm just thinking that, hopefully it'll work out. Anyway, I got this piece that I turned on the lathe. I made everything. My idea is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill and tap a hole here, I guess for M8 metric, trying to keep it the same as, which this isn't really, it's not really metric, but it's lining up to a metric Allen key. So I'm trying to keep the same Allen key when I got to use everything. Anyway, so I figured that I would drill and tap that hole, and then I'll also I'll use a milling cutter, like a 1/8, and I'll make a line for the keyway for, let me find it here. Yeah. So the keyway for this piece right here, which I have on a vice grip here so I don't lose it, but that's the keyway. That'll go on this part to my adapter here. And then what I'm hoping on this side is that I'm going to drill and tap this. And what I'm hoping is that, what I'm thinking is I want to actually maybe possibly drill just a little divot in here. So what I may do is when I'm done with this, after I drill this for the tap, I may actually put this back in here, just to the edge right there. Just give it like, just put the drill down again, just to like make a little indent in here, just to give some something for the grub screw to tap into. Just something to grab it a little bit better. It doesn't use a lot of pressure, but I don't know if when you get to that high pressure point, if it may strip out or something. Again, this is all, I have no idea. So I'm going to see what happens. Anyway, like I said, I do have that set up already. My DRO is at 0. I'm going to start with that one, and I'll just double check. I think that's where I was at. I think that's where I put everything at 0. Because, yeah, that'll go in there, and that'll go right about, let me see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like it'll be right about exactly where I need it. So let's start with drilling and tapping this for an M6. A little noisy on my mill too. Drill chuck here. Let's take this out. Bring this back up again. This is I think this is a 5mm drill bit. I think that's the size. Yeah, I'll just put some of this on there. Yeah, my mill too, like, hear that? It's everything's tight, but it seems like between this and the flywheel right there's like a little bit of a noise. I'm gonna have to pull it apart one day and I thought I had it apart, but I didn't really see anything. There's something to do with that pulley. I mean, it works great. I don't have any issues with it, but it's just annoying because it's either that or a bearing or something. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, what did I do there? I knew something didn't feel right. All right, let's try that again. A little bit better. So I said, I'm just going to put this in there real quick and just give it a little tap. Make sure I'm straight up and down here. It looks pretty good. This way you can see that. It looks kind of centered and everything else. So at least this way it'll give the grub screw something to hold on to. Guess I had it off a little bit. Alright. Let's get this piece in. Let's get that, find my tap wrench too. I don't know what happened to my tap wrench. Try it a little bit in there. Nope. Made a mess there. Let me go find my tap wrench before I do this. I'm gonna bring it down and stop it. Alright, sorry about that. Find my tap wrench. Alright, let's try this out. Let's do this. Now, because I have such a problem, it's so much higher up, I'm just going to probably shut it off before I even get close to it. Looks like that's jumping a little bit too. Maybe it's just my imagination. Does it look like that's jumping or no? Let's bring that around. Okay. Let's get this started on there. Ooh, doesn't seem like it didn't go down deep enough. Let me do that again or get a top follower here or something. Again, I am not a machinist, and I learn as I go. Okay, that should be good. Try that again. Still a little on the weak side. No, I guess it started it. Something doesn't feel right. I see something here. I wonder if I got the right drill bit or something here. Something does not feel right. I'm only human. Let's try, you know what, I got one of these things. I hate these things. You ever see these things? Yeah, I hate them. But if you go slow with them, they're not too bad. You can get them to work. Let's see if maybe I had the wrong drill size or something. I don't think so, but something doesn't feel right. Oh, I guess my drill size is right. Okay, let's see if that does any better. I think there's a problem with my tab. M6 by 10. Alright, well, let's try this out. Let's see what happens here. Boy, that does not feel good at all. I don't even want to use that. That's going to break in there. I think I got a bite on it, so let me see if this will work now. This one. Don't know why I'm struggling so hard with this. Yeah, it feels like it started it. Just feels really, 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 really tight. I don't know why. Maybe it's the material. Get this back in here again. Let me put some more lube on that. I don't think I went down all the way. Should find my bottoming tab too. All right. Too much here. Well, don't worry. If I snap a tap, you guys will see it. Oh yeah, it's so tight. God. Oof. see if I'm in there too far. Where are we at here? You in there? There's my, there it is. Still got a little bit to go. Jeez. I left my, compressor back on. I think I'm through now. I don't know why that was so hard. It still feels really hard. It doesn't feel right. I mean, it's through, but it just doesn't feel right. I don't know if it's the material or something. Yeah, maybe my tap's bad too. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this late at night. Just run that through again. Feels okay now, I guess. Just a tight tap, I guess. Let's see if I have a grub screw now. Get this thing out of here. Okay, that should be good. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a bigger one or two of them, maybe like a locking one. But let's see what that looks like in there. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, no movement anyway. It's very tight. Nice. I like that a lot. Oh, boy. These wires at the end, they grip on everything. They have like two pointy ends on them. This is made for like a scooter, a kid's scooter. I mean, as far as compared to size to my hand, it's a decent size. It's not huge, but it seems like it's got some horsepower. I don't know. I read a review and somebody said that they were able to clock it a little more and put about 36 volts into it, and it ran great and it gave so much more power. So that might be the only thing I would be worried about, or maybe try to do. Because what I was thinking of doing was basically just maybe adding a plug. I figure I'm going to be using my mower anyway. My mower is 36 volts, so I figure what I'm going to do is just end up you know, maybe running a plug or something from my mower so I don't have to have batteries on this excavator, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier to use. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Alright, so let me take this out. Now what I want to do is mill a slot in there. And I am known to break the most end mills in history. I'm going to go with a 1/8 end mill. I actually think I'm going to raise my table a little more too. Alright. This is going to be very slow and very steady. Move you here. I got to move my table back a little bit. I think I have it locked here. Unlock it first. oppressively tight. Now, let me bring the table up a little more. Let me put you on the other side here. Sorry, got some things in the way here. I gotta do some cleaning up. So as you can see, there's just gonna be a little slot. I kind of have it marked already, if you can see that. I'm just gonna mill a little slot in there, a 1/8 slot. Just something to where I can fit this in there comfortably. The little pin. Alright, so let's bring this up. Wonder if I'm going to hit. Alright, hold on 1 second here. I just heard my wife. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. This is the next day. I had to do a few things. It was getting late, but I'm trying to finish up some things. But anyway, here we are back at the mill here. I'm going to try to... it's very hard to film this. I really don't have a great camera and everything else, but I'm just going to try to make a slot in here just for this keyway to fit in. Again, I don't even have any measurements of it. I'm just, you know, just going by eye. Get my safeties on. All right, let's turn this thing on again. A little noisy. All right, sorry about that. I lost some. The camera died. I didn't realize it, but yeah, it's a extremely, probably tighter than I wanted it actually. It's very, very tight. Oh, I just dropped my keyway. All right, let me find it now. There it is. Yeah, when I mean tight, it's tight. So there's the hole. There's the keyway. I think this is the top. Right there. Going like that. And then, like I said, this piece goes in, but it's very, very... There you go. Perfect. Look at that. Couldn't have been better. All right. Next, let's see about mounting this on the machine and seeing what we can do. Let's next moved over to the excavator. I thought you guys were watching me and I realized I had a dead battery. Anyway, so I just put together a quick bracket, just something that'll work out. There's the motor right there. What I have it right now, let me see if I can get you a little close up here. Let's go back. First I'll show you, yeah, I'll show you a close up of what I did here. Again, I'm going to have to do this permanently, and plus I'll have to find a spot for the batteries, but I'll give you an idea of what I did here. I had a piece of some of this Harbor Freight stuff from an old, I forget what I had. It was something with a couple of big pieces. I think it was an engine stand, and I just didn't need it anymore. So anyway, what I did was I just drilled a couple of holes in this to hold that. I know it's not there. I'll weld another piece on and put something there. But for the time being, I got one here, and I have to drill this out a little bit more because I made a mistake on this hole. I messed up, so I got to drill a little bit more on that hole. But I got that hole covered. Again, temporarily, there's a little clamp holding everything together. So basically, this is a 24-volt motor. What I have is these tiny little 12-volt batteries there, as you can see. Again, this is all temporarily. And then what I did was I just hooked up temporarily to just one of those circuit breakers. You know, one of those, my shoes, my work shoes. Holes in them. Anyway, that's why I'm getting surgery this month. Anyway, so just a 300 amp, you know, circuit breaker. So basically, just, you know, I'll have to put a switch in, but let's hook it up. This is gonna turn on. It's gonna be a little loud, but then I'm gonna show you it working. So turn it on. Not as loud as a gas engine, right? But so basically, that's what I got. That little 24-volt motor, and it's running. And let's see what this thing will do. Now, I did add this seat. Unfortunately, you see my problem. So I'm gonna have to extend these. But anyway, let me give you an idea of what this thing does. So let's lift it up. This one will, and again, this is all working off that little baby motor. Nice and smooth. In fact, I have a new one because that one's leaking. Boy, look at all my stuff everywhere. Terrible. I gotta do some major cleaning up. But anyways, you can see it works pretty good. You know, that'll bring it down, that'll bring it up. The boom to the left, boom to the right, and all running off of a little tiny 24-volt motor. Now, what I heard too was that, let me shut this off a second, be able to talk a little better. That's a good thing. I just hit my circuit breaker here. There you go. Popped off the circuit breaker, shut it off. So I know this sounds really stupid. Everybody's going to laugh at me, but I got into the batteries. I did my mower. I bought an electric vehicle. I do not like gas anymore. I wanted to get rid of this gas engine, which was not that big. As you can see, they only use like a 6 horsepower Vanguard engine and 5,500 watts. I think this came out of a some kind of like a inverter or something, you know, a power inverter, because it looks like it's got the watts part on it where it says, you know, 55 watts and 60, 8,500 starting watts right there. But anyway, so that's what I got. Basically, probably what I'll do is, yeah, I gotta drill another hole on the other side, and what I'll do is I'll weld another plate on here for the other 2 bolts to hold on. I'll re-drill this piece, and maybe I'll do something to bring it up, and then I'll just cut it and just weld it right there. I'll weld it on the body, and what I was thinking as far as the batteries, maybe one on each side, you know, just strap them. They're not that big. In fact, they're only like, what are they? They're not that big of a battery. 20 amp hours. So I don't know, how long is 20 amp hours? I mean, how efficient is this? This is a DC motor, so I'm not really sure how long it'll work. I'm sure somebody out there could do the math for me. But anyway, yeah, I didn't realize that you weren't watching, but it wasn't anything crazy really. I just, like I said, I took this bracket. I'm gonna still cut it. I'm gonna cut it right about here, I imagine, because I'll have to weld it in there, and you know, I'll re-drill this hole. But I'm pretty much happy. I mean, I got that. I got one more cylinder for the front I got to put on, and again, what I'm gonna do now is, because of this chair, I was thinking about extending these. I have a whole bunch of I think it's like 3/4 or something. So what I was thinking about doing was maybe we'll figure out whatever this thread is, maybe making a piece that I can thread in. Now this seat does go back. I just had it up because I was doing something else, but how does this thing work? Let me get that 1 second. It's got this stupid lever here, but it's cheap. What do you expect for $60 here? I think it comes out, pushes back, maybe somehow. You know what I think I'll do is I'll put some grease on the frame here. It just doesn't want to move too easily. Yeah. It's cheap. What do you expect? But anyway, all right. So back to what I was saying. So what I'm thinking about doing is, actually, let me see what I have real quick. So I have a whole bunch of this stuff. It's just straight bar. And what I was thinking was maybe drilling and tapping it. Can you see there? Can you see what I'm doing? So I was thinking about like basically drilling and tapping it. I think, let me see what size that is. Because that's, we got here. I'm on millimeters. All right, well, it doesn't matter. It's about 945 millimeters. This is 1150, something like that. So basically what I was thinking is putting this here, and then basically it gives me like an extension because it's really long. So I can have a kind of a, let's see if I can push it back, you can see a little better. Basically just something that it would go around, you know, up to the seat part. Just so it would go up to this area. So maybe something like this. Maybe a little bend right here. I'm not sure. I think I might do some kind of roll cage too, or some kind of bars or something to get on, because unfortunately the seat made it go so big. But and then I have a few of these handles, these little balls right here. These are the plastic balls threaded. I forget what the thread is, but yeah, you know, they would work out pretty good. This way, instead of having like, in fact, that would probably be the same size as that. Instead of having them, I'll have nice little balls and yeah, make the jokes. I'll have a ball at the end of it, and yeah, I think that'll work out really well. So moving along, I'll probably do that all off camera. I'll probably, or maybe I'll make another video. I'm not sure. This is probably going to be the second video on this one. I'm going to call this one good. But my next step is I need a. My next step is to well, I'll finish all that up down there with the motor and everything else. I'll figure something for the batteries down there. Like I said, I'm hoping I could strap one to one side, the other to the other side. I was even thinking about even putting a plug somewhere, because my mower here is 36 volts. And if I put a plug on the back of it, you know, maybe just a switch or something, I could use it to not power that motor, but put some kind of other switch and just use the 36 volts off of this if I wanted to do it higher. Because I figure I'm going to be towing it around with that anyway. I put a hitch on there. So, ooh, it's nice out today. So the next couple steps I got to do is, like I said, there's my other cylinder I have. It's the front cylinder that's leaking real bad. I got a new filter. I'm going to do a filter change. I'm going to change I got new bottles of hydraulic fluid. You know, I got a few things going on, so I'm hoping in a few more days I'll have this thing wrapped up. Yeah, all this paint was just shit. I think I have more paint coming, but it was just to get some kind of color on instead of just the rust and all the mismatch and everything else. But I think it's coming along good. The seat made a huge difference. I mean, the seat is basically, I think, made it. But so we'll have this to do. We'll extend that out here, up here, so we can have the so I'll be able to control it. This has a few different positions too that you can move the seat. Right now it's pretty far back. I'm going to push it forward a little bit. But what I was originally going to do was I thought I guess that cylinder's good too. I guess this is my only bad cylinder that's leaking here. So what I have to do is I have to do a cylinder here, and then my other problem is dun, 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 somebody bent this pin in here. So I tried getting it out because I got a rebuild kit for this one. But unfortunately, this did not move. So I think what happened was somebody bent this in here. I'm going to have to slice that off,